Howdy heretics, I'm Goatlike personality from Norway. I used to be a Jehovah Witness, but now I'm just wondering how I could believe in all those things. I will tell you about 3 Fraudian slips that God and mankind and the Christians do when they read the Bible, because it says that God created man in his image and he was supposed to rule the animals, the birds and the fish and everything. And when you talk about this, Christians do 3 major Fraudian slips. But let's start with the obvious thing. When God created man in his image, he recycled chimpanzee DNA. So he has a planet that's covered with atmosphere. So in order to cover that, like physically, if I would travel around on this planet, I would need wings, because that's the most convenient way of traveling. 100% of the land is covered with atmosphere, but I didn't get wings. 70% is covered with waters, but humans basically cannot swim very well. So when he created mankind in his image and he used chimpanzee DNA, it wasn't the smartest thing to do. But anyway, so I'm Adam and I'm supposed to rule mankind. No, I'm supposed to rule all the animals. How was he supposed to do that? I mean physically. How can I rule an albatross? How can I rule a fish? How can I govern the differences between a Baltic herring and an Atlantic herring? How were man supposed to rule it? Well, like physically, how would he do it? And then also the Fraudian slip. Why would they need to be ruled? I think that's a huge Fraudian slip from a very insecure God, that, well, someone need to rule something, because if you're not ruling something, what's the point of your existence? You need to insert your dominance onto something else. That's a huge Fraudian slip. And if you talk to Christians about this, they do another Fraudian slip. They say, how do man rule the animal kingdom? And I say, well, and human beings sometimes make other species extinct. Well, if we're in God's image and the way we rule things is that we sometimes make things extinct, well, then you have a real problem with your God and the example he sets for mankind. Imagine if God would come back. You open the newspaper and it says, Yahweh making comeback. 6,000 years of being invisible. He made a comeback. He's no longer invisible, and he appointed Goatlike personality to rule Minnesota. Not govern, not lead, but to rule. You know, it's not the rule of law, it's the rule of Goatlike. And you say, Goatlike, what did you do? Well, you remember the pool keepers? Yeah, we remember the pool keepers. They are now extinct. That's how I rule. It's a random act of violence. A few pool keepers made me angry, so I introduced wolves to eat the pool keepers. And now the wolves are eating the window cleaners. So they beg Goatlike for mercy, and I will eventually do something, but probably blame Satan. That's a huge Freudian slip mentality. Why would my existence would not, the existence of Adam and mankind need to be that we rule something? It's a Freudian slip from a very insecure God and insecure Christians that believe that we need that kind of ruler. Imagine when God ruled earth and said, oh, there's too much violence, I have to kill everything. Imagine if I did that. You know, I rule Minnesota and I say, oh no, oh no, oh no, there's too much violence in Minneapolis. There's too much violence in Minneapolis because of Satan and the demons. So what will I do? I will drown everyone in Minneapolis. Except Satan and the demons. I need them for future endeavors when I need to blame my actions on someone else. How would that be a smart thing to do? And why would mankind's idea of ruling be that sometimes we make plants and animals go extinct. That's not ruling. That's best case scenario mismanaging. Anyway, let's say that Adam really wanted to rule in a good manner, and he somehow prayed to God and he got himself breathing apparatus so he could swim underwater, and he could fly in the atmosphere, and he could rule the albatross, he could rule the herring. Yeah, according to what laws and according to what people assume that whatever Christians believe today is what is moral. So let's say Adam would rule that he would walk around the planet to make sure that no one have gay sex. There's a lot of animals have gay sex. You have swans. If there's a lesbian swan, they will build two nests. No, they will build one nest and fill it up with too many eggs. But none of the eggs are fertilized. And then if they're male swans, they build two nests but have no eggs. Yeah? So imagine if Adam gonna rule the animals and he followed the ideas of these days Christians and ideals. What is he gonna do in that situation? He finds the swans, they are gay. What is he gonna do? The only thing Adam would do is to try to fertilize the eggs. Yeah? And I'm pretty sure he did. And then God saw him ruling the animal kingdom, and he said, we need to make him a wife. That's what I thought happened. So see you in paradise, and thanks to my patrons.